You're still watching Midday Live, and Parliament on Friday went on a recess amidst agreements and disagreements on that day. Now, the House, on the last day of sitting, laid the right to information bill, but when it got to the ratification of the agreement on the security cooperation between Ghana and the United States of America, the minority side walked out. Evelyn Tingma is our parliamentary correspondent, and she joins me here in the studio. Good afternoon, Evelyn. And
good afternoon, Wendy.
Thanks for your time.
Welcome. And
now, first of all, when a report is referred to the appropriate committee of Parliament, what exactly happens next?
Right, so when it goes to the committee members usually will meet with the Attorney General and then the ministers involved. If it has to do with education, the Minister of Education will be there, Minister of Health will be there. So those ministers, and sometimes if there's a need for stakeholders to be invited to the particular sitting or meeting, those stakeholders will also come. And then the committee will now decide or consider what is before them. And then after that, they will present their report to the plenary, that is the chamber on the floor of Parliament. And so that is where they do the debate, and then whatever issues come up. And so at a committee level, they can decide, or they may be disagreements, and then but that has to be captured in the report. But sometimes that is not done. But if you go on the floor, you can bring out the views, whatever was said at the committee level. If it's not captured in the report, you can still come up and say that, okay, this is what I suggested at the committee level and all that. So after that, when the debate is done, then the second reading is done, and then it goes to the consideration stage where they do the amendments. And after that, it's ready for third reading and then passage, of course.
Now, in the case of the Ghana-USA Defense Agreement, how many members constituted the committee?
Right, and so we are talking about two committees here, the Constitutional Legal Affairs and then the Committee for Defense and Interior. And so each committee has 18 members, so we're expecting that, or there were supposed to be 36 members of the committee, but in this case we are told that 23 of them were present, and then 13 of them were minority members and the 10 were majority members. And so basically that is the number when it comes to the committee.
The minority ranking member, James Agalga, has come up with a press release, and tell us what exactly he's been touching on.
Well, he is saying that there is an erroneous impression that the minority members of Parliament who voted for the ratification of the defense cooperation between Ghana and the United States were members from the minority side. And he is saying that exactly that is not, because if you watch on Friday, James Agalga on the floor of Parliament wanted to correct that impression in the report that the report captured that majority of the members, yes, agreed, and then he wanted to correct that. But like the report or the release that was issued by the minority, if I can just state here that there was an attempt to create the impression that the majority of MPs who voted in favor of the passage of the agreements on issue came from the minority NDC is palpable false, and that was designed to phase by certain misguided traitors within the MPP following the outpouring of anger and the feeling of betrayal by the good people of Ghana directed by the MPP government. And the statement went on to say that a careful scrutiny of the votes and proceedings displayed on social media will indicate in no uncertain terms that the list of MPs' attendance does not disclose any voting pattern. It is therefore very misleading for anyone to simply identify MPs whose names appear on the attendance list by their respective political parties and conclude that the majority of members present at the meeting came from the NDC, and that they must be the ones who recommended to the plenary that the agreement be passed. So basically what James Agalga is saying is that it wasn't the minority members who approved or asked that the thing be ratified, and so that was some disagreement there, and basically they are saying that the information out there on social media as false.
Well, you are a parliamentary correspondent. I'm sure you'll be following up on this story to bring us some more updates on this very issue. Evelyn Tingma, we're grateful for the updates.